Right, man, we got some breaking news coming out of the city of Detroit. According to Ian Rappaport, the Detroit Lions and All-Pro safety Kerby Joseph reached agreement on a massive new extension to make him the highest-paid safety in NFL history, sources say. He gets a 4-year, $86 million deal with $21.5 million per year. His contract was done by his agent, Louis Bing, a big-time star, rising star in Detroit, cashes in the bag. Love the deal. I think this is a fantastic deal for Kerby Joseph. He's going to get $21.5 million per season. The guaranteed money and how much money he's going to make per year and stuff like that when it comes to his contract and all that has not been revealed yet. We probably won't get that until after the draft, possibly even a couple weeks from now. We'll probably get the guaranteed money probably even tonight or tomorrow. During the at some point before the draft, we'll probably get the guaranteed money and stuff, what that'll be. A lot of Lions insiders, and I think Spotcheck has it projected to be around $40 to $46 million guaranteed. I think this is a fantastic deal. He's now the highest paid safety in NFL history. He is the highest paid safety currently in the NFL, and now one of the highest paid just in general defensive backs in the NFL. I think this is a fantastic deal for Kerby Joseph. An absolutely fantastic deal. And this is just an unreal deal, in my opinion. What an absolute steal. A lot of people in the Twitter of Ian Rappaport's post about this. Holy overpay, massive overpay. This guy's gonna suck after this. Are we being for real? Twitter's a horrible place, man. But this is a fantastic deal. I saw a post, and I immediately thought of it too, about this is a phenomenal deal because look what Kyle Hamilton and the rest of the other safeties are going to get. Kyle Hamilton's probably going to get $100 million or just slightly under $100 million. Spottrack actually projected to get Kerby Joseph, and they're usually almost 95% of the time right on every single contract. They had him, Kerby Joseph, getting a 4-year, $96 million deal, I think is what it was, or a 4-year, $94 million deal. So we got a better deal from what we actually gave him, from what Spottrack expected. So this is a fantastic deal in my opinion. Absolutely fantastic deal. I expected him to get around like $95 million. So this is a fantastic deal. I wonder if they're going to get rid of the final year of his rookie deal and he'll only be under contract for 4 more years, or if they're going to add this extension onto his rookie deal, which means he'll be here for 5 more years. So I'm very curious. That's probably more likely because that's what they did with St. Brown and Penei Sewell. They picked up Penei Sewell's 5th-year option. They kept his final year of his rookie deal. So he was under contract last season for 6 years. He's under contract now for 5 more years. St. Brown, they gave him a 4-year extension. He was still under contract for 1 more year. They added that extension onto that 1-year deal. So he was under contract for 5 more years last year. So he's under contract for now 4 more years. So I'm assuming this means now Kerby Joseph is under contract for 5 more years, essentially. So this is a fantastic deal for Kerby Joseph. Well-deserved man. Had a league-leading 9 interceptions last year. 1 more than fellow division rival Xavier McKinney, who I believe signed around a 4-year, $70 million deal, $68 million deal, somewhere around there last season with the Green Bay Packers. And Kerby Joseph is a better safety, in my opinion, than Xavier McKinney. It's close, but I would say Kerby Joseph is a better safety than Xavier McKinney. People call Kerby Joseph dirty, one of the most dirtiest players in the NFL, because he tore Tyler Higbee's ACL. He tore TJ Hawkinson's ACL. He's just a big hitter, man. He's not dirty. To me, unless you're specifically doing it on purpose, that's when you can be considered dirty. But to me, he's just making a play. He's trying to make a play. He's trying to make a hit, force the ball out from the catcher. A lot of safeties do this in the NFL when you really look at it. It's just the unfortunate part that Tyler Higbee and TJ Hawkinson tore their ACL and Kerby Joseph made the big hits. So calling him one of the dirtiest players in the NFL is just unreal to me. If the dirtiest player in the NFL, it's unreal to me. But this is a fantastic deal for Kerby Joseph. Welcome back to Detroit. Long term. And that's a fantastic deal. Now, we also have a couple other small news. A lot of news actually came out of the city of Detroit today. Ian Rappaport also followed that post up with this post. We kind of already knew this, but the Lions would like to lock up star Aiden Hutchinson, and perhaps he's next after Kerby Joseph. President Rod Wood recently told Dave Burkett, the Lions insider, at a pre-draft event, he will be here the long haul, I can assure you that.
I'm very curious to see what Aiden Hutchinson makes. I could see him making slightly less than what Max Crosby got. I think Max Crosby got a 1 year or $160 million deal. So I could see him getting around like 155 just because he's coming off of that injury and he just hasn't been productive when it comes to like, well, that's not actually true. But just because coming off the injury, but I could also see him making like close to $200 million. So I'm very curious. That should be coming up here soon. It's crazy because we also extended Kerby Joseph 1 day before the NFL draft, and we extended Hutchinson and Panay Sewell last year. I can't remember if it was 1 day before the draft. I think it was Tuesday. I think we extended him 2 days before the draft. So it's crazy. We extended Panay Sewell and St. Brown Tuesday of last year before the draft, and we extended Kerby Joseph 1 day before the NFL draft this year. So we'll probably extend Jahmyr Gibbs or something like that on the day of the NFL draft next year. But this is a fantastic deal for Kerby Joseph. What does this mean for Jamison Williams? And we did also get a little bit, not really news, but kind of news in a way. And I do think this potentially leads to something. Um, Jamison Williams was at the Lions' voluntary minicamp today with a big smile on his face. There's my Twitter, by the way, if you want to go follow that. But he was at voluntary minicamp day and all smiles and everything. So hopefully that's leading to he's going to stay. I was honestly starting to believe that he was going to get traded, and I still think there is a chance. But after saying that, I think that lowers the chance of him being traded just slightly. Yeah, I said jail to this, by the way. If we draft Jalen Milroe anywhere in the draft, jail. We also got a little bit more Lions news today. We released Jake Fromm. I don't understand this one at all. I don't understand why we would release Jake Fromm. You always want 4 quarterbacks heading into training camp. The Lions, however, did only have 3 quarterbacks heading into camp last year: Goff, Hendon Hooker, and Nate Sudfeld. So I mean, maybe they're doing the same thing this year, but like you cannot say, well, they're just trying to improve a quarterback. This quarterback class sucks. Um, so there's no way they're trying to do that. I think you're going to get worse, especially how Jake Fromm played in the preseason last year. Even in the little amount of time it was, he was playing really, really good. Like they looked like a very good, experienced veteran quarterback. Um, so I don't really understand this move, nor do I like it. Brad Holmes did say in his press conference at the annual meetings that he said that there possibly could be some player releases because we're gonna have the least amount of spots open for like the draft and UDFA free agency for UDFA players to come in. I think we only had like 9 or 10 spots open with the current draft picks that we have for UDFA's. Uh, so we now have an extra spot open. I don't know why it would have been Jake Fromm. I could have saw it being a different positional player. Maybe a guy like Chris Smith or a guy like Stanley Thomas Oliver. Somebody like that would have made a little bit more sense. Maybe a guy like Tom Kennedy. So Jamarco Jones. So I don't know why it would have been Jake Fromm. I don't really like the move. There's a chance he comes back, obviously. Um, if they can't get a quarterback they like, maybe that they're targeting in UDFA free agency, but Jake Fromm, he's been released. That sucks. Jake from State Farm. Jake's from State Farm messed that up so bad. Is no longer a Detroit Lion, unfortunately. This is also, I mean, Pro Football Hall of Fame calls this big news, but small piece of news. The Detroit Lions and Los Angeles Chargers are set to battle in the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame game. It'll be Thursday, July 31st, which is the earliest game to start the NFL season in like since 2000 or something like that. It'll be at 7 o'clock. Tickets go on sale on the 28th of April. I really like this. I was begging last year for the NFL to have the Lions be in the Hall of Fame game. This will be on NBC, so we'll get Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. Um, I really like this, even though, all the Hall of Fame players are going to be interviewing and stuff like that, and they'll take up half the game. I really like this. The Lions get an extra preseason game. This really gets to give an eye on what Hendon Hooker's going to be. If he balls out of control, maybe you try to trade him for like a 4th, 5th round pick or something like that, on cuts or something like that. Or if he's just okay, then you got your backup quarterback for the season. Or maybe you consider bringing back a guy like Jake Fromm, or go get another veteran quarterback. Maybe if Teddy Bridgewater won't go back to coaching high school football, maybe try to bring him back. So I really, really like this. We now will have 4 games this preseason. Our first one being July 31st, which is not even 100 days away. So football is just right around the corner, man. It's crazy. This offseason has gone by so fast. It's unreal. I also wanted to say rest in peace to Steve McMichael, the Bears legend defensive tackle. He passed away today. He was put in hospice and he passed away just a couple hours later. So rest in peace, Dave McMichael. But what a deal this is for Kerby Joseph. A lot of Lions news to recap. Kerby Joseph is extended for 4 years, $86 million deal. The guaranteed money and everything has not come out quite yet. We'll probably get that later tonight. Jake Fromm was released, and the Lions will be playing in the Hall of Fame game against the Los Angeles Chargers on July 31st. So, and that's crazy because that's immediately, essentially, once I go back to school, which is really nice for me. So, one pride, go Lions. Last video, most likely, that will be out before the draft happens. I will be releasing my video tomorrow night if we do end up picking in the first round. I will be making a video probably a little bit after we make our pick. And I'm praying. I'm praying that Brad somehow lands Mike Green, or even if it's just a guy like Shamar Stewart, I'm praying that he lands one of those two. Those are my two top defensive ends that are realistic for the Lions that I want Brad Holmes to get. Obviously Abdul Carter, but he's going to get pick number 3 overall, it sounds like, by the New York Giants. So, Brad, please, Mike Green, I beg. And if it can't be Mike Green, go get Shamar Stewart, whatever it takes, man. I'll take out Michael Williams, Donovan Ezraku, but I want a Mike Green or Shamar Stewart. Please, Brad. One pride, go Lions. Congrats, Kerby Joseph, on the extension.